Hello and welcome back to my video. So I am in my Valentine's Day fit. We are kind of doing a Valentine's Day little activity. I guess not activity, but we're doing a couple things that is our Valentine's Day related stuff. And I am wearing this, and I got this from Target. Let me get a little bit further away. 19-year-old Vicky would be loving this outfit with the cherries. Fun fact, I was super obsessed with cherry stuff when I was, I think like 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there. I had so much cherry stuff. It was kind of ridiculous, but that's just what I do. When I like something, I become obsessed and I buy a whole bunch of things. First it was butterflies, then it was cherries. There was a stint there where it was like leopard stuff. We've come full circle now, and I'm back into the butterfly stuff and the leopard stuff and the cherry stuff and flamingos. So you see I have flamingos there, a lot of flamingo stuff. Anyways, I digress. I am, in addition to celebrating Valentine's, we are also celebrating our little baby boy who is actually turning 6 months today. And this weekend, we're going to just do like a little fun little thing for him. We, as in Sergio, I, and him, and it's nothing big. We're just going to probably take pictures, and we're also going to be giving him food for the first time. We're going to be doing, I think, like baby oats, and then we'll probably start doing like the purees and all that stuff. Really excited about that. We have been anxious to do it, but we have been trying to follow the guidelines of our pediatrician and waiting until he's a little bit more older, and 6 months was like that mark for us. So yeah, so we're just gonna do some fun things, and really it's more just for the pictures and for the memories more than anything. I did buy him an outfit because of course I would buy him an outfit, and I got him this little thing halfway to becoming a wild one that he will wear for pictures, right buddy? And so I got him this outfit, and some of the things that I've been thinking about doing is also making a crown for him. So I've actually already started working on that, and you will see I got this material from Hobby Lobby, and it's like feels like felt, but it's a little bit more stiffer. And I've created an outline for a crown. So I initially created it on cardstock paper, just to be able to create like a template. And I want it to be, I don't want it to be like straight. Like I want it, how should I say this? I want it to kind of angle a little bit. And so I created this, and you'll kind of see like it starts a little bit narrow and it goes out a little bit. It obviously is a little too small, so when I transferred it, or when I created it on here, I made it go a little bit longer so that it could be more bigger on him. But I kind of want it to be, how should I say this? Like I don't want it to be like a big crown. I want it to be a smaller crown on his head. But I just use this as a stencil. And so I did it on this goldish yellow color. It's like a golden yellow color, so that it can match with the little crown that he has here. So I've started that, and then I also plan on the crown itself, I plan on creating like a half logo, not logo, but like number. So I do have some stickers here that I think I might use as, again, like as a template. Actually, these right here. So I have these that I will probably use as a template, like the 1 and the 2. And I bought this felt material that is actually a peel and stick. So we're gonna figure out how I do this, but the idea is, actually what I'll do is I will draw it backwards on the back so I can use that to cut, and then I'll stick it on here. And that's what I've been doing for some other activities I'll show you. So as you saw, I did the pattern on here, and then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll use this side as the actual front end of the crown, and only because I don't want any of these black outlines to potentially show through the outside. I did it with something else, so I'll show you that in a moment. But anyways, the plan is to cut it out, and then I'll use these felt material that is peel and stick. I'll cut out the numbers, the 1/2, and I'll put it, and then I'll hopefully we'll be able to like stick on there. I also purchased this beading cord elastic for it to be able to like wrap around his face. So that is his crown. I'm doing the birthday crown. I don't know if I said that. I may have just like jumped into it because my brain is going all over the place. But making him a birthday crown. I also am making him a birthday banner using the same material. So I use the same material because it's like a stiff material, and I just figured it would kind of all go together. And I am doing, it's going to say happy half birthday. And so what I did was I started creating letters. I started creating letters again on cardstock, and then I traced it onto this material and started cutting it out. So again, what I did was the H doesn't really actually kind of, okay, maybe I'll use the R as an example, which I still haven't cut it completely out. But what I did was, and I don't know if it's gonna reflect weirdly, but I traced it backwards so that I can cut it out and then flip it over. And this way you don't have any of those black outlines. So like here, for the most part, I cut pretty closely. I mean, you could cut closely as well, but it just prevents any of the outlines, you see right there, from showing. So I just trace it backwards and then cut it and then use the back end. Flip it over, reverse it, no, oh gosh. Okay, so that is what I have been doing, is creating a banner. So I'm gonna create this banner out of this material. I have quite a few letters already cut out. I just need to, I'll kind of show probably little clips of what I'm doing so you can have like a visual of it. But I will use this, and then I'll probably use that same string that I had used for the tassel garland that I'm trying to look for it now. I should have had that out. Oh, here it goes. Okay, so I'll use this as well to create the banner. Probably create little holes, like using, I don't know, something, but I don't want to create too big of a hole because I want it to like stay stiff on here. But I will be working on this banner. And then the other thing that I have is I bought table covers, and I already had white ones, so I just bought this black and gold one. And I am just going to, we'll see how easy this is, but I saw on Pinterest where you can take the table covers and you cut like strips. You cut like strips lengthwise, and then you can kind of layer them like multiple colors and create like a knot at the top, and it just gives like the different colors like coming down. I saw it in Pinterest. Everything I create from Pinterest comes out exactly like it's supposed to. Not the case. That's complete sarcasm. I have definitely had some Pinterest fails, but I feel like this is pretty straightforward. And it's just to have like a little backdrop behind his high chair that we're going to be assembling again, or assembling. We're going to be assembling today so that we have it ready for tomorrow and the pictures, because we're going to do everything tomorrow. Even though technically today is his birthday, we're going to do everything tomorrow. So I need to finish everything today and have it ready for tomorrow. And yeah, we are celebrating our baby boy's 6-month birthday, which is just, it's wild, so wild. You know, I've heard so many, the longest time, obviously we had a lot of friends that had babies, and you hear all the things of time goes by so fast and you never realize a love that you experience like until you have your own child. And I heard it plenty of times and totally believed it, but it is a completely different thing once you're actually experiencing it. So very grateful that we get to experience this and just celebrate the little things. So that is what we're going to be working on. So I think I'm going to get started on the crown to finish that up. And yeah, we'll keep it going. Okay, so I've cut out the crown. And what I decided to do was, so this is the actual, like, where the bottom part of the crown is going to be, but I decided to go not cut all the way because I want to cut little, how should I say this? Like, I want to leave little chunks here because I plan on almost creating like a base to the crown and having the using that to attach to that base. And then the base is where I'm going to put the strings in. The reason I'm doing that is because I think that if I try to attach the strings to the crown itself, this material is not that tough. I mean, it's firmer than just like regular felt, but once the strings are attached to it, I think it's going to pull on the material and it's going to flatten the belt. So I'm hoping that attaching it to a base instead will prevent the crown itself from being stretched out. So again, as with everything that I have done thus far on this channel and just in general with my projects, it's kind of my thought process, but it might evolve as we start going together, putting this together. But I did just measure this out on him and I think it's a good size. So that is good. So I'm probably going to kind of stick it like that and it'll be a little bit shorter. So next, I think I'm going to first cut out the little parts that I was thinking about cutting out, and then I might do the numbers as well and put this together. So far, going well. Okay, so I finished the crown. Well, finished part of it. I love how it turned out. I think it turned out really good. I am waiting. I went ahead and used this tacky glue to put it together, and I just put some clips on here just to give it some time to dry up before I do anything else to it. Hopefully that's enough. I do have glue gun that I'll probably, if this doesn't work, I'll use the glue gun. But for now, I think I'm just going to, he's starting to get fussy, so I need to put him down for his nap, and I'll probably give this time to dry and just go ahead and work on the banner. So that is what I will do next while that dries, and then I'll continue that in a little bit. But so far, it's turning out pretty good, if I do say so myself. All right, so for the banner, to make the letters, to make them all even, I pretty much cut out a whole bunch of cardstock paper that I would create the letters on. And I think that this cardstock, I think I measured it, was it 3.5 by almost 5.5. So each letter is about this size. And then I use basically this ruler to be my guide as like the thickness that I wanted the letters to be. Just so that, again, they're all the same thickness, like even. So that is my tips on creating letters. Fun fact, back in, I think back in my 20s, my early 20s, when I was still in college, I worked at 2 different daycares, which is probably one of the reasons why I was in no rush to have children, because I may have been a little bit scarred by my experience of working with children for 5 years. But at one of the daycares that I worked at, I used to make letters for like bulletin boards and so forth. I didn't go down to the measurements of this because those letters used to be really large. But yeah, I used to make the letters then. So that skill that I learned then is coming in handy now. Just things that off the top of my head I remember. But yeah, I used to make letters then. So all right, I will get back to actually making these letters now. All right, so another trick that I like to do when I am having to cut a lot of letters out, to help minimize or reduce the amount of cuts that I have to make, I try to line up the letters next to each other so that I'm only having to do one cut and I've created 2 sides. So you'll see that I line them up in a way that I'm just minimizing the number of cuts I'm having to make. I did the same thing with the P, and then you'll see, I mean, it's probably on the camera, it's not probably not, it probably flips it, I'm not sure, but I did the mirror side of it so that the black line will be on the back end of the P when it's like actually hanging up. But these were the letters that I had left to cut out. So I've traced them on there, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them out. It is the next day, and we have made some progress with little hiccups here and there, but so far we're making good progress. So I completed the banner. I have them in like 3 sets because it'll say happy half birthday, and I want them to kind of like hang like layered. I don't know what the right word is. So I don't have them all on the same string. So I'll just show you the half, what it looks like. I mean, was not difficult to put together. The only thing that I would do next time is I would actually invest in a hole puncher, and not like because I have like the regular hole punchers, but something that's a little bit smaller, because the bigger hole punch would have, the letters would not have stayed like they are staying here. So I had to use scissors and basically poke holes for each of them, and that took a while. And I also kind of almost risked poking holes in my fingers. So not advised. Next time I would look for a small hole punch, but I think they turned out great. So we did that, and then I've completed the crown. So cute. I already put it on him because I was trying to measure for the elastic because I wanted to make sure that it fit around him, but not too tight. And it is precious. So that is how his crown turned out. And so now what I'm going to do is attempt to do the backdrop. Again, I saw this on Pinterest. Seems like it's pretty straightforward, but now I'm actually getting into creating it, and I might feel differently. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this yellow as a complete backdrop, and then I'm going to layer on top this black and white. So I have black and white here. And they're going to be like long strips, and then you like tie them at the top so they just are a little bit fuller versus it just being like one on top of the other. So ideally I want them to match each other and kind of have the same width. So what I'm going to do is I've clipped them together, and I'm going to try to create strips that are the same width, so that, and then like do them at the same width, so that when I go to hang them, it's like they match. I don't know if that's gonna work. I might say screw this and just stick with the banner alone. I mean, the crown alone is adorable. So that is what I'm going to attempt to do now, and we'll see how this turns out. The good thing is that I already had the white table cover, and then the black one was like 99 cents. So if it doesn't work out, it's not like I wasted a lot of money there. So that is what we're going to do next. Okay, so hopefully you saw the footage. Everything turned out actually really nice. The backdrop with the table covers proved to be a little more challenging. I wish I would have recorded myself putting it up, because I was definitely fighting with it. I have not worked with plastic table covers in quite some time, and I just forgot how clinky, staticky they get. So just trying to separate the like layers I was breaking a sweat trying to do that. But overall it turned out great. I mean, for, you know, less than probably $5 of doing that whole entire setup, worth it. So it was really nice. The banner turned out pretty good too. I was impressed with it. The crown, he actually kept it on him. I was like, this crown is not going to stay on him for very long. He actually wore it while we were taking a couple pictures of ourselves and with him, and even trying out the food. Like, he was wearing the crown, so it actually withstood a 6-month-old and a feeding. I am here to report that he wasn't the biggest fan of avocado. That's what we tried for the first time, was avocado, and I think he was a little bit unsure of it. That's okay. We will try it again tomorrow. But it was good. I hope that you all enjoyed this little prep session and planning for our 6-month-old, who is almost half a year old. But it's good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Lots of lessons learned. I will keep in mind. I already told Sergio that for his first birthday, I'm going to be planning way in advance and prepping, because there was definitely some rush in that. But anyways, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next week.